There are a lot of strange products on Etsy. Long Furby abominations, real scorpions, supposedly haunted dolls, but perhaps one of the strangest rabbit holes on the site is a community of people who buy and sell dirt, soil, and clay to eat. I'm never disappointed with this product. Awesome texture and earthy taste. I'm an addict for this dirt. This shale stone is divine, timely packaged well, and tastes delicious. Awesome taste and cleanliness, no comparison with any dirt on this earth. Unparalleled taste and quality, best I can ever get. Been eating this for 3 years now. These are all real reviews for various edible clay and dirt products on Etsy, and they're just a drop in the bucket of the thousands and thousands of purchases made. This isn't some niche thing that one or two people are into, this is a thriving community. Which begs the question, why are so many people on Etsy eating dirt? Today let's take a look at the dirt eating side of Etsy to discover how and why this phenomenon came to be. Before we get into things, I just want to give a huge thank you to Tomboy Toes for sponsoring this video. Tomboy Toes are dress shoes made for folks with smaller feet who have a hard time finding what they're looking for in traditional shoe stores, which rarely carry men's dress shoes in sizes smaller than a US woman's 9. They're a small trans-owned business whose mission statement is to boost self-confidence by helping people achieve a look that they've always wanted to rock. I have a few pairs of Tomboy Toes and I absolutely love them. They fit so well and are so comfy, especially for dress shoes. I got the Roguish Brogues in brown and black, and I'm honestly super excited to wear these with just regular casual outfits. They're super comfy and also just look really cool. I also got the Traveler's Toe Caps in black. They're actually really soft and warm, so they're perfect for outdoor events or traveling, as the name suggests. Whether you need high quality and stylish dress shoes for work, formal events, or just casual everyday wear, Tomboy Toes is perfect for those who wear smaller sizes. As someone who myself is non-binary and sometimes struggles to find more masculine clothing and shoes in smaller sizes, I'm so excited to be working with Tomboy Toes because making these things more accessible for everyone is something that I really believe in. Head to tomboytoes.com and use the code IZZY to get 10% off your first order plus a free tin of shoe polish and free shipping. Once again, that's tomboytoes.com with the code IZZY. Thank you so much to Tomboy Toes for sponsoring the video, and now let's get back into things. I and many others were introduced to the dirt eating side of Etsy through a Twitter post by the user Small Time Jones, who wrote, "Accidentally discovered edible dirt Etsy and what the fuck is happening?" Many were skeptical. They wondered if the people in these posts were just LARPing or fantasizing about eating dirt and the products in question were just chocolate crumbs or cookies made to look like bits of earth and clay. But no, this is actual dirt from the actual ground that sellers are harvesting, packaging, and selling on Etsy. Others insisted that the dirt was just being used for cosmetic purposes, mixed into mud masks and used in skincare products, etc. And while yes, some buyers are definitely using these products for non-eating purposes, most of the reviews are praising the taste, the crunch, and the earthy texture. At a certain point, you have to stop coming up with excuses and just accept the fact that people on Etsy are buying and eating dirt. A quick search on the site will confirm that yes, edible dirt Etsy does exist, and edible dirt and clay products are actually pretty popular. Earth for You store, Red Dirt store, Edible Chalk, India Goodie store, and Red Dirt Craft are just a few popular sellers on the site with hundreds and in some cases even thousands of sales and reviews. Between these larger shops and of course the smaller sellers, because it's important to support small businesses, there are a ton of different options to cater to all kinds of earthy tastes, no matter how obscure. Firstly, there's your classic dirt option. The most popular type seems to be red dirt, which is often found in warm, dry climates and has a sandy, earthy taste. Chalk is another popular option. In a listing for White Mountain Natural Edible Russian Chalk, the description reads, "If you are looking for a classical chalk taste, then this is the one for you. Brilliant white in color, easy to chew with hardly any grit." A listing for Edible Casper Chalk is described as having a fresh and creamy taste with a soft to medium crunch. You might also be wondering about this assurance that the chalk is pure and clean. A lot of edible dirt listings claim to be clean and safe, and we'll get to that later. Perhaps the most popular and widely available product on this side of Etsy is clay. It comes in many different forms, from basic chunks to edible pots to clay dust baked into cute shapes. I also want to share a few what I like to call wildcard listings, which basically means that I don't know what they are, but they look like they would be like a delicacy, like the caviar of the clay and dirt world. Orenburg tiles. They're these large square tiles of what I believe is some sort of chalk, and they just look like they'd be a treat. Ural pop chips. These are from the Ural Mountains, but it's never described what they actually are, some sort of clay I assume. These are marketed in an uncharacteristically fun and quirky way for Dirt Etsy, with quotes like, "These pop chips are a favorite among crunchers and fans of ASMR, and unleash your cravings today. Ural pop chips are sure to inspire and delight. Add a touch of nature's beauty to your taste buds with our premium chips." Firstly, I'm tickled that people who like to eat crunchy clay are called crunchers, and secondly, whoever wrote this description needs to get into marketing ASAP. Slim Jims. Just a quirky name for slate pencils, which are actually pretty common on Dirt Etsy. As far as I can tell, they're just pieces of slate thinly cut into long pieces. Again, whoever wrote this description needs to be hired. I never thought I'd want to eat slate, but here we are. It's also worth noting that while Etsy is a very popular spot to shop for edible dirt and clay, it's far from the only place on the internet that sells it. I found tons of listings on eBay from a multitude of different sellers from around the world. Same with Amazon, where there were listings for all kinds of clay, from roasted clay pucks to edible clay sauces to purple Astana clay chunks and more. There are several small businesses with dedicated sites as well, including chalkineurope.com, Earthy Goodies, and the appropriately named Yummy Clays. I found this one site called Earth's Clay Store, and I figured it must be really popular because all the clay was sold out. But then I found a recent blog post announcing that the store was closing, and it's a wild read. With much prayer and thought, I will be closing Earth's Clay Store. Almost 7 years come this April in running this business. It is now time for a change. There are a few reasons for closing. The Holy Bible makes reference to the earth mourning, the earth being cursed, and finally the whole creation groaning. Which made me wonder, if the earth is so sad, then what is happening to me when I consume it? In short, it is also making me sad. I considered my life up to this point. Depression runs in my family. I get depressed at times. Could eating chalks and clays be a contributing factor? Or even prolong my depressive state? Large quantities, yes. Small amounts every once in a while, no. Temperance is what is needed. For this reason, I can no longer be a huge seller, as I may be adding to others being depressed and even addicted. We can all see that the world is changing. I believe time is speeding up because Jesus Christ's coming is imminent. How will I be able to buy and sell if I keep the commandments of God and the faith in Jesus? Only those who have the mark of the beast will be able to buy and sell, so instead of not being prepared and having the selling platform blocked because of my beliefs, it's best to close it myself and start preparing my body, mind, and soul, preparing myself physically, mentally, and spiritually for Jesus' second coming. It's so interesting to me to see a larger seller decide that they're doing more harm than good by selling edible clay to people, not for any health reasons like toxins or chemicals, but because they think it's unholy and causing depression. Sometimes you stumble on a little corner of the internet that is so far removed from anything you know that it just makes you realize how vast the World Wide Web really is. While all of these edible dirt and clay products are interesting on their own, what makes them even more fascinating are the comments and reviews attached to them. These Etsy users not only buy and eat dirt, but they're often highly discerning, critiquing dirt and clay that doesn't meet the described taste and texture. Tasted and smelt like petrol, not crunchy at all, gummy, gritty, and tastes of plastic burn. I was sent small pieces that were not my usual nakamat. Very disappointed this time round, as I had been ordering for years. Must have been an old batch because it was nasty. This time it wasn't as clean as from my first order, but the taste was not bad. This was my first order. It was good, but it tasted more like red nakamat with a bit of salt than anything. I didn't taste any smokiness or gasoline flavor, which is common with black candy. Very crispy, but that was not the taste I was expecting. It's not sticky. I prefer sticky clays. It has a strange aftertaste. So yeah, people criticizing dirt for being unclean or tasting bad is kind of hilarious in an absurd and ironic way, but it's also really interesting because it gives us a look into this world. For people who eat dirt, it isn't a punchline or a silly online gimmick, it's a thing they actually do regularly enough to develop their own particular taste, their own likes and dislikes. Which again begs the question, why on earth, pun intended, are so many people eating dirt and clay? And well, that's a complex question with a lot of potential answers, so let's dive in. Or should I say, let's dig a little deeper or something. Let's dig in. I don't know, sorry.
Isn't that your teeth?
This is a smoky
smoky granite.
Pica is an eating disorder characterized by a desire to eat things that are not food. There are many different subtypes of pica. Acuphagia is the desire to eat sharp objects, hyalophagia is glass, metallophagia is metal, plumophagia is lead, and geophagia is the desire to eat earth, soil, sand, clay, and chalk. It's most commonly reported in children and pregnant people because, kids tend to go through phases of eating non-edible objects, and pregnancy can cause all sorts of wacky cravings for all kinds of things. And quite a few reviews that I saw did mention satisfying cravings, so that could point towards this explanation. Another explanation could be mineral deficiencies, which some theorize could explain the urge to eat clay and dirt. The body is seeking out vitamins and minerals that it needs, like how animals will lick rocks and dirt to get all the goodies they need for their little gut microbiomes or whatever they have. Deers just be licking trees and rocks and shit, so it would make sense that it would be the same for us. Kind of. Wikipedia states that those suffering from geophagia are more likely to be anemic or have low hemoglobin concentration in their blood, lower levels of red blood cells, and lower plasma zinc levels. However, it also states that biological abnormalities are rarely found in those with pica, pointing towards a purely mental cause in most cases. However, dirt and clay eating can also just be a cultural thing, not caused by any urge or craving, but practiced as a societal norm. Kaolinite, also known as white dirt, is a chalky mineral which is popular in certain states in the US. From an NPR article, quote, "There's an old saying in the South, a child's gotta eat their share of dirt. Mamie Lee Hillman's family took this literally, but they weren't just after any old dirt. I remember my mum and my aunties eating that white dirt like it was nothing," says Hillman, who grew up in Greene County, GA, and used to go with her family to dig for their own dirt to snack on. It was an acceptable thing that people did. Here's a Reddit post depicting some kaolinite for sale at a local grocer. Though the label claims that it's a novelty item, the comments confirm that kaolinite is commonly sold in the South, especially in Georgia, for the purposes of eating. Similarly, in Jalpatan, Mexico, there's a traditional candy called a chagosta, which is made of edible clay and earth. From Wikipedia, quote, "The clay used to form the chagosta balls is extracted from certain mounds, caves, or sandbanks. In ancient time, the sweet had a mainly medicinal and religious function. Today, its consumption is increasingly scarce and only a few older people in Jalpatan know the recipe to produce chagostas." Alongside these more modern examples, humans have been documented eating dirt as far back as 2 million years, meaning that the practice is far from a recent development and certainly didn't start with hungry Etsy users. Though the popularity of edible dirt on Etsy is a really interesting way that the ancient practice has evolved to suit modern times.
People just like to explore and it's a unique looking area.
So there's a lot of divisiveness about eating dirt online, go figure. On one hand, there are those who support and partake in dirt eating, a prime example being the buyers and sellers of edible dirt on Etsy. Judging by their comments, many of these users are regularly dining on clay, dirt, dust, and chalk, so much so that they've come to form their own particular tastes. Tiles and pots, cookies, slate pencils, red dirt, chewy clay chunks, they know what they like and what they don't like, and they're not afraid to point out when dirt tastes bad or descriptions aren't accurate to the taste. Even aside from these more extreme examples, there are plenty of people out there who believe that eating dirt and other minerals in moderation is fine and even healthy. Maybe it's a local or family tradition passed down through generations, maybe it's for a home remedy or other medicinal purpose, or maybe it's a way of getting vitamins and minerals without having to take supplements. Let your kids eat dirt to strengthen their immune system has been a popular sentiment for a really long time, and clearly some people have continued practicing that well into their adult years. Obviously, there is another group entirely that thinks dirt eating is gross, weird, unhealthy, and even dangerous. On the subreddit r/living in Korea now, one post reads, "Eating clay. Hello, I am looking for grey clay to eat. I have a calcium deficiency and like to eat some clay. I checked Coupang and they sell clay, but I found it a bit expensive for what I used to buy in my country. So I was wondering if there are any Korean sources of edible clay around Daejeon, or anyone knows where I can buy it for real cheap. That would be nice. Thanks." The responses are all negative, ranging from concern to outright disgust. This sub has officially gotten weird. If you know you have a calcium deficiency, get some calcium supplements and stop eating mud. WTF? Why are you even trying to eat discount ass clay? I'm sure you can splurge on some good grey clay, bro. OP, I think you might have pica. I think you need to crave a doctor's appointment and get this checked out. Wouldn't calcium supplements be better than clay? And I think that a lot of these negative reactions sometimes can come from a place of ignorance. Sensationalized TV shows and articles poking fun at those with pica are common, leading to a lack of understanding and sometimes a mocking attitude towards the disorder. However, many of these reactions clearly come from a place of concern, and rightfully so. There's nothing wrong or shameful about having pica, it's a disorder. I know there's this whole stigma around it because of those stupid TLC shows that make a spectacle of it, but pica is a real thing that people suffer from. And while obviously I'm not trying to say that it's bad or shameful for people on Etsy or any other place on the internet to want to eat chalk or dirt or clay, what I will say is that it can be potentially very dangerous. From an article in Medical News Today, quote, "Geophagia can cause a range of health complications due to the many potential toxic substances in dirt. During pregnancy, eating dirt may also place the fetus at risk. If a person knows someone who is eating dirt or they are eating dirt themselves, it is important that they consult with a healthcare professional. A doctor can help someone find out if their cravings are due to a nutritional deficiency and learn whether they are experiencing toxicity from harmful substances in the dirt, including heavy metals like lead." Despite the fact that a lot of edible dirt sellers label their products as clean, in air quotes, several reviews on Etsy mention biting into hard bits of rock and stone and even finding glass and other inedible and dangerous objects inside their clay. With edible dirt and clay being a pretty niche market, it's highly unregulated. Most of these products are sold as novelty items and are noted as not being for human consumption, even though they are, to get around any legal issues that might arise from getting sick or injured from eating them. At the end of the day, these are natural substances being mined and harvested, and there's no way to guarantee that what you're getting doesn't have lead or toxic chemicals or glass in it. In conclusion, I'm actually really glad that I went down the edible dirt and clay on Etsy rabbit hole because I feel like it gave me more of an understanding on why people might do this. Pica and geophagia are very real and not even really that uncommon, and people who suffer from it deserve help and understanding rather than mockery and judgment. However, that's not to say that dirt eating is a good thing. In moderation, some dirt every now and then probably won't kill you. Also, disclaimer, I'm not a doctor, don't quote me on that, I'm not liable for anyone eating dirt or clay, please don't. But a lot of posts that I saw online showed an addiction and dependency on eating clay and dirt in order to soothe anxiety. If this sounds like you or anyone you know, I implore you to please see a doctor because eating a lot of these substances in large quantities can be really dangerous, and there is definitely help out there for anyone who is suffering from pica or geophagia or just generally cravings for clay and dirt. Live your life how you want, obviously. I just don't want anyone to get lead poisoning from eating delicious clay tiles. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I really hope that you enjoyed that topic. I saw the dirt eating side of Etsy post on Twitter and immediately decided that I had to make a video about it because I thought it was so interesting, and going down the rabbit hole of discovering why, how, where, what circumstances lead people to eat dirt and clay was so interesting, and I really hope that you enjoyed listening to it. Apologies if my delivery or my voice sounds weird at all. I just got braces and I'm still getting used to how they feel and talking with them, especially for long periods of time. So I'm really sorry if anything sounds really weird or kind of like a little bit slurred. I'm trying to get used to it, and I'm sure I will soon. So yeah, apologies for that. Let me know if you guys have any topics that you want me to cover in the future. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I really hope to see you in the next one. Bye! A huge thank you to my Garfield overlords over on Patreon: Sheriff Whiskey, Xavier Araujo, Bunzo, Sophie H, Simon, Katrina Likes 5e Stuff, Dr. Worm, Oliver Brains, Dozo Blint, Hazy, Zoe Mars, Matt LRJ, Michelle Olsen, Kia J. Parker, A Riddle Wrapped in Enigma Hidden by a Question Mark, Jar the Bar, Vivian Valencia, Jet Secret, Helm Hamburger Hand, Dana Homegardner, Jesse Chisholm, Blue Mayfeld, Prize from Traveling Tavern, Meridia, and Doug. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, it means the world. If you want to join these guys over on Patreon, the link will be in the description. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I really hope to see you in the next one. Bye!